Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only Master Propaganda Hero Psych Defender of the Fatherland, off here to a 1v1 own Nexus. In the west, it is Song of Single Doge, finding here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the 20th Panzerdivision with defensive, spearhead, and mobile defense. In the east, it is Ashablois, fighting for the Red Army of the Soviet Union, Comrade Stalin. And the 3rd Guards Tank Corps here with airborne troop tactic with airdrop weapons, airdrop heavy machine guns, airborne rally points, which literally no one ever uses, Guards airborne troops, and of course the tactical R2 Sturmweg rocket run. What would the strategic one look like? I don't know. Got the MD42 versus double conscripts, and as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and their valuable support, the Propagandacast would not be possible. So big thanks to the Propaganda Legion. Other one people can follow in the Heroic Example pledge on Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links are in the video description. And if you're in the market for Pioneering Companies 3, you can do something in the comments. Use the CoH2 3G. I'll let you know, comment, like, share, subscribe, talk about the video. So up north engineers is a pioneer here by the northern viewpoint. Ashablois engineers here trying to find the courage to sort further up against the might of the German pioneer here. Not quite succeeding here. We got conscript up in the centre, conscript southwards here, third one way for Ashablois. We will likely see a 4 conscript build here for Ashablois, since, you know, you typically want to maximise the amount of airdrop weapons you can toss at the enemy. Interesting enough, you really don't see people go for 5 conscripts with SD40s. I wonder what would happen then. So, pointing seas of the Grenadiers, MB4 moving forwards there for Song of Single Doge. Conscript pushing forwards here for the glory of Comrade Stalin. Advancing against German firepower, but now starting from some significant gun. This gun is quick to occupy the rear building, and the machine gun team is also being hauled further northwards to further assist in this engagement here and secure the fuel point here against further Marxist assaults. Second Grenadiers got them for Song of Single Doge. Ashablois just running around grabbing points here as well. And I think at this point, this is more like a diversion, like something to keep Song of Single Doge's attention in the north here and prevent it from like moving elsewhere. So in that regard, that's a pretty good, you know, diversion in a sense there, if that is the case. Fourth conscript there for Ashablois, very much within expectations. Very much so. Before to the conscripts here, Pioneer staying in by Northern Point. Grabbing the car point, the munition point here. Third Grenadier squad there for Single Doge. Conscript being pushed back here by the Maschinengewehr 42. Conscript the Grenadiers here. Third Grenadier squad almost done there. Conscript remaining here. More pressure around the cuff point here. Ashablois now with the south sort of largely secured. They could have grabbed the victory point there. In fact, Ashablois yet to see a single victory point. It's now transferring sort of from the south towards the north. He's looking to up and doing the machine gun, threaten the car point, and that way deny them fuel here. So smart play again of Ashablois, making good use of the map here to play around the opponent's otherwise strong points, and highlighting the danger of getting a bit too, like, you know, relaxed with the machine gun in one point. It also becomes very easy to play around in situations like this. So thumbs up to Ashablois again for showing us that. Will Doge pop the machine gun activate pursue here, though again, it's a bit tough as well to do from this position, but sets up here, can easily further up maneuver. It's going to have to take a northern route perhaps for the best results, but either way, machine gun is moving out now, and should be able to catch Ash's forces. I don't think Ash has actually noticed it, so they should work out for Song of Single Doge, and there you go. Suddenly being rewarded for getting the machine gun, you know, a bit of fresh air. Suppressing 2 of Ash's squads here, and routing them. Of course, there's a flamethrower team now flanking MD42. Still Asher here with some overwhelming macro patrol versus Song of Single Doge. Maschinengewehr team there being pushed back before it gets turned into toast. Burnt toast of that. No tech yet for Song of Single Doge. May want to consider that. Well, of course, it might be planning a 4th Grenadier squad here. Pioneer, though, taking advantage of a bit of a mistake there by Ashablois, and gets an early wipe on Ashablois. Thumbs up. Asher, though, quick to replace the lost infantry here. Also has medics research already, very good there. Grabbing on the fuel point, but still this is a pretty strong early map situation of Ashablois in the Red Army. Most of the map is red. But again, not the victory points, interestingly enough. Flamethrower uses the Pioneers. The Rocks 3 versus the Pioneers here. And Southwick on use of the conscripts here, plus the machine gun bunker. Got a bit too close here, and got suppressed. No tech yet for Song of Single Doge. Perhaps they're planning something more here in the early teal. Perhaps they're just preoccupied with the fact that most of the map is currently Soviet. That is certainly not impossible. Troop rushing back here for reinforcements, healing. And we do get the 4th gun list with the song single Doge plus tech at the same time, so going for a pretty heavy infantry build here in response to Ashablois. Pretty heavy infantry build. Can start airdropping either S5040s or the Dishka heavy machine gun there. We shall of course have to see which of the two Ashablois picks, and we do get the S5040s first. And this is the consoles here. MD40 remaining now more out in the free here. Enforcing, and there we go, first airdrop there. Interesting enough, not grabbing the weapon. We figured that would be a priority here for Ashablois. There you go. Tech done as well, the song single Doge, a bit of skirmishing here. Initial phase has sort of, so to say, ended. And Ashablois, again, still has most of the map, but song single Doge has been able to recapture the northern fuel point here and still holds the victory point. Ashablois, by the way, still kind of ignoring the victory points. It's pump company up there for Ashablois, though. Proper field gun. Would not be surprised to see a disc in the near future, because that's simply one of the primary reasons people will pick this commander, is they can just airdrop the heavy machine guns, which is really good. There you go, first SVT-40 squad team moving in, MD-42 being caught out in the open, Uraring there to avoid the arc of fire, thumbs up there to Asher, and that definitely forces his song single Doge to once position the machine gun there. Quickly routed here, constantly pushing forward here with their mix of mercenary guns and SVT-40 semi-automatics. Gun is flanking up behind the conscripts. Other squad here overwhelmed here by the sheer number of troops under Song of Single Doge's command. Field gun on the way, they're obviously concerned about a 2-2 here being utilised, or I suppose a surprise flame for a half-track, though that one seems unlikely. Flamethrower units moving up here, and there we go, 2-2 on the way. Flamethrowers burning through here, Song of Single Doge's Grenadiers. We also get a second SVT-40 airdrop here. Engineers, though, being slammed into the ground here. Song of Single Doge launches, or continues his furious counterattack here. South side, we got the contact again here. The victory points remain very much, well, neutral. Reinforcements, SVT-40s. 2-2 there, slowly on the way. Fun fact about the SVT-40 was actually meant to become the main rifle of the Soviet infantry, but by the time the war started, they just didn't have enough, couldn't produce enough, so they basically stuck with mercenary guns, and would later just move on to PPSH-41 submachine guns as the main attempt to equip most of the infantry with. So, little fun fact there. Got the field moving forward to infantry backing it up. I imagine you'll be seeing some tech soon here for Ashablois. Of course, at this point, Ashablois may just move straight ahead for the mechanized armor compania and some T-34s. But we see Guards Airborne Troops, possible, but most of the players just honestly overlook them, which I think is a bit of a shame, but at the same time, SVT-40 conscripts also just that efficient. Armor car engaging there up north here, got the engineers catching the machine gun here, and the MD-42 crucially catching them out in the open. Conscript about to flank around the MD-42 here by the looks of it. And it is routed several places. We got the medics on the way there for Ashablois. Off a bit Doge, I mean, not Ashablois. Ashablois have some medics out. So once more, we can see the German map control here fumbling and crumbling in the face of Ashablois and the 3rd Guards Tank Corps. More engineers for Ashablois to help, of course, assist with repairs, but also just, gives them more stuff to build with. And typically at some point, you do want, like, more than one Pioneer engineer unit. Mines here, very good. Also mines here, the Trip Wire Flare Mine. Fun fact, that's still used today. Typically in conjunction with other things, like IEDs and such. Armored coming northwards here. Grenadiers there arriving. No light machine guns yet here, though they are now on the way here for Doge's Grenadiers. Armored car catching the nears here, close to the mine. Asher's really just continuing to exert excellent map control here versus Doge. Still no commander for Doge, though. Still got defensive, spearhead, mobile defense at this point, though. Spearhead is looking more likely it could be the mobile defense. Defensive would be the least likely of the three, but, never say never. In particular when you're me, as I can easily be proven wrong. Tank could be turning around for Ashablois. So I would not be surprised if the next move will be a mechanized armor company of Ashablois. I am surprised at the lack of any Dishka heavy machine guns, as they would be, I think, an excellent addition versus all the infantry here and even the light vehicles. That is a bit of a noteworthy absence than Ashablois' forces at the moment. There's the conscripts here. But Ashablois definitely enjoying a strong fuel lead away song on single Doge. Mine goes off, armored car heavily damaged there. Forcing healing, engineers of course waiting for the order to build a mechanized armor company. Could still airdrop a bunch of SVT-40s, but also not be surprised at this point they might just want to go for mobilized reserves instead. Near around here by the SVT-40 building conscripts. Got the Grenadiers in trouble with the constant engineers there. We got more moving in with the MG42, Pack 40 for Song of Single Doge, and there we go, mechanized armor company. Ashablois, of course, looking to leverage their early map control into some very fast T-34-76s. That is obviously going to be a tough one there for Song of Single Doge. Unless Ashablois proceeds to misplay their tanks aggressively. Charging in there, right into the Grenadiers. The losses piling up here on both sides. But looks like the Grenadiers are going to be the ones going to have to run back fast because the semi-automatic building conscripts up close are absolutely demolishing the Grenadiers. In fact, almost getting wiped here on Song of Single Doge's Grenadiers. So forcing healing here. Fun fact about the MG42, while the official rate of fire is 1200 rounds per minute, it was not uncommon though for the machine gun to be modified to fire it slower because the gun simply couldn't handle the stress of 1200 rounds per minute. So they would typically insert a heavier bolt for a slower rate of fire. Fun fact. Probably also didn't hurt, it made a gun a bit more easy to manage for the gunner. Getting stuck up here. Pack 40 holding up here. More light machine guns up there. 2 being fixed up. T-34 from 6th there for Ashablois. Very much expected. And yeah, we get the other 2 squads on the equipped with the mobilized reserves, going for a mix of SVT-40s and mobilized troops. Not a bad mix, honestly. I'm still a bit surprised at the lack of any disc-heavy machine guns. Like, a lot of the time, if so playing go for them, typically actually go for like 2 of them because that is, well, very good. Doge, though, continues to operate without a commandant. He doesn't have tech up either, so he's definitely a bit behind here on the fuel race and armor race because, again, Ash has already got 1 T-34-6 almost there, will soon be able to follow up with another one. And Doge is, like, only going to be able to, like, tech up now and still going to be, like, several minutes away from any armor themselves, so going to be a bit of a tough one here as Ashablois is about to unleash the Soviet sledgehammer here. Multiples of them, in fact. Units conscripts sending out, the T-34-6 rolling ahead. Second MG40 of Doge, definitely not a bad idea. Certainly can be a tough nut to crack for some Soviet players if you get more than 1 machine up in the right positions. Good for map control, so thumbs up to Doge. T-34 striking South Line, going to easily send them packing there with his machine gun and main gun there. Comes then in trouble with the gun DC, being focused down with heavy machine gun fire there. We got at the same time engineers flanking up here, going straight for the Pack 40. Since if Ashablois can pick out the Pack 40 and remove it, then Doge has nothing to stop the T-34-6 with. There you go. Got hit there, but interesting enough, Doge didn't panzerfaust the T-34-6 there. Lucky for Ashablois. Very fortunate. He's being bombarded, Cotwing as well. They're engaging the Grenadiers out in the open, pushing them back. Still no tech of Doge, still no commander either. Kind of commandant, but at this point it feels heavy like speared here from Doge. Again, he could surprise us. Never say never after all. T-4 going straight for the Pack 40 again. This could be the moment where things really go pear-shaped for Song of Single Doge if Ashablois is able to take out the Pack crew here and destroy the gun, but no. Fortune smiles on Doge. Asher failed to turn the tank around fast enough to get its whole machine gun firing at the crew here, allowing Doge to get the tank into the safety of the base and start reinforcing it immediately. Thumbs up to Doge, less so for Ashablois, but still no tech there. And Asher can soon begin pulling in another T-34-6, or of course could start going for Katyushas. Either of which would of course be an additional problem and headache here for Song of Single Doge and the 20th Panzer Division, 5th Panzer Grenadier Company, motorized. Troops sitting out here in the base and also some sitting back. Big 2 points wise, there hasn't really been a big focus there, so it's like pretty close, but also like, you know, not that low there. Panzerfaust and T-34-6 damage engine here. Actually, I definitely could stand to be a bit more prudent with their tank in some regards. Solid point being seized, some mines here from Ashablois, of course, would be a good addition. Still surprised at the lack of pair-dropped heavy machine gun teams there, though. Well, just machine guns. Attack finally happened there for Song of Single Dorsha, though crucially again, still no commander. T-34-6 being fixed up, Gunners and sending bits of the consequence there. Back at base, nothing further transpiring, and there you go, March as well there from Ashablois, a little gift there for the Germans. Pack firing away there and doing absolutely sod all. Near strength to the enemy 40 here by the silent point. We've got the field and they're bombarding Gunners by the center point here, getting up some good hit and good kills. Forcing Song of Single Dorsha to abandon that position. That is, yeah, obviously not safe as infantry. Quick healing there so they can remain at the front line for a bit longer. I think at this point they're too close. And the thing is, the healing doesn't apply there in combat, so they need to be specifically out of combat for this to work. In this case, obviously they immediately in combat, so not only do they just suffer 2 quantity losses, the munitions were also wasted. So probably would have just been off retreating though, honestly. Or pulling further away from the front line. Dorsha should be able to build the support and push for a Pantherfall soon. Ashablois there, though, certainly not quite capitalizing the fuel advantage, getting another tank or anything else fast enough here. This is great for Song of Single Dorsha. Gives them more time to bring in a tank before Ashablois has too many tanks out themselves. So there we go. I imagine that's going to be a support core here for Song of Single Dorsha. Yes? No? Next machine flanked by the Conscript Squad here. T-34 ripping through, and there we go, almost got the pack 40. There we go. Again, this is the disaster scenario here for Song of Single Dorsha, potentially. The pack has been lost. Or at least wiped for now. Not necessarily lost. Depends on what happens next. And the machine gun got us. So this is really turning out here. And there you go. Asher grabbing the enemy 42, at least attempting to grab the enemy 42. But 40 is not quite smiling here on Ashablois. It's not going as easy. And there you go. Should be able to get it wipe. No, yeah. Down it goes, and the T-34 some 6 also in trouble here. Pack being bombarded by the field gun. Katyusha is on the way steadily here. T-34 moving up here quite aggressively. Engineers coming from the north here. T-34 push back. Pantherfast as well. He needs to quickly turn the corner around the building or risk losing the T-34. And there we go. Narrowly does it. Tutu going for the field gun here. Most of Ash's forces back at base. Katyusha is on the way. Field gun though is getting wiped out. Song of Single Dorsha is able to turn the tips on Ash, and Ash cancels the Katyusha for another T-34 from 6. Field gun being wrecked here. Song of Single Dorsha knows it's now or never. He needs to really start delivering some punishing damage here to Asher. Risk Asher just bouncing back like a big bouncy ball from the Magnitogorsk bouncy ball factory, which were notoriously bouncy and lethal because of that. Second T-34 almost done there. Well, I don't know if they detonated them there, but you get the idea. And this is the consequence here. So can soon start pushing for Panther 40. Could also just go for a bunch of Stuke 3Gs. The Sturmgeschütz from gear. There you go. Ralph Grenade rips with the conscripts on wiping out the entire infantry squad here. Machine also close to dying out here. Looking a bit rough there for Song of Single Dorsha once more. But Ashablois definitely starting to bleed a bit harder here. Second T-Fed was right. T-Fed thought number 1 though goes out in flames here as the munitions cook off. And loses a flank for Ingenuity in the process as well. That's a double whammy there for Song of Single Dorsha. Good hit there. Closing in that Panther, although of course we're at that point. The Song of Single Dorsha theoretically could be tempted to just stall for the Titan. No! In a surprise twist, Song of Single Dorsha actually goes defensive. Oh, okay, I didn't see that one coming. There's defensive fortifications, the Ostropen, the Pack 3, the Stuke 3, and of course the Sector Artillery. So interesting pick here by Song of Single Dorsha. They're obviously not going for this commander for the Ostropen. So the question is, what is it exactly they're picking this for? What are they picking it for? I do not know. Another T-Fed for the Ashablois. Those are some pretty intense losses here for Ashablois. Pretty intense. And definitely I think it's given Song of Single Dorsha some breathing room. That's it. The support core did not get built. They cancelled it. So what's the plan now? Lots of questions there, to be honest. Lots of questions. T-34, of course, need repairs. Got another one ready. No, this is the 1942 model of T-34-6, sort of the last model before the switch over the T-3045. Note by the slightly larger and more roomy turret with the hexagonal look there, and the Mickey Mouse hatches, as the Germans called it. Because when they both popped up, they kind of gave the tank sort of Mickey Mouse ears. If you guess, had Mickey Mouse in 1943 or something. 42, I guess. So, little fun fact there. And he's being routed here. And he's been pursued by the conscripts. North hit T-34 there, slamming into Song of Single Doge's northern flank. Still no support mode concept. We got a second pack 40. Is he planning to fall here, or what is Song of Single Doge thinking here as Ashablois? Rifle Gates almost taking a conscript there. Pack shooting waves. Probably should treat that conscript as well there. Don't know what Ashes think about sending there. I guess they just accidentally send them in there, and there we go. Wipe. Good kill here. Ashablois' forces are really starting to bleed out. Do you think Ashablois may want to reorganize and reconsider the tactics? Because currently, they're just sort of throwing men into the meat grinder here against Song of Single Doge. They're not really, I think, at this point, achieving any greater, strategic operational goals. So I think Ashablois may want to, reconsider what they're doing. Maybe consider some more elite infantry with some bigger guns. But also some support weapons, like some heavy machine guns, some mortars, I think, go a long way to Ashablois here in the continued fight versus Song of Single Doge in particular, with multiple packs and multiple machine guns, and the fact that right now they're just being sort of centered around a small area like this, I think really should Ashablois have, them thinking that they need, support weapons, rather than just running the infantry into this. So that sort of would be my thoughts there. The double packs in particular, I think, is also going to make it harder here to rely so much on the T-34s on this map. Southern point being seized up by the Pioneers. Mines also being spotted there. News there falling back from the north. Still no take there. South here got the contrast of the Pioneers by the Southern Field Point. Centre being grabbed by the Red Army. Up north here, continue to push here. T-34s and 6 about to get hammered the packs. We got a third T-34s and 6 at Ashablois. Just churning out those T-34s and 6s. Like they're working hard at the Stalingrad tractor factory number 5, I guess. Kind of thing pushed back by the Grenadiers here. That said, I mean, a lot of T-34s and 6s can also do the trick, as long as they don't lose any T-34s before that. And in fact, Ashablois almost has the resources for a 4th T-34 and 6, so certainly it's not an impossible strategy. But what is Doge here thinking? Lost the Grenadier squad 2 at some point here. T-34 is almost knocked out. Need to pull that back for repairs alongside the other one. Ashablois is definitely playing these T-34 and 6s very aggressively versus Song of Single Doge, and while that's not a bad idea, of course, need to be careful, can actually get them out of there as well. I think that's kind of where Ashablois might be slightly overplaying their hand. Just slightly overplaying their hand. There we go, Pantherfast up north here. Though Doge lacks any tools to pursue it and finish it off. Tier 4, kind of respecting that at this point, honestly. Ashablois, meanwhile, is steadily moving towards that 4th T-34 from 6. At which point, probably a 5th one, actually. There's the conscripts. Trenches being dug as well here. Starting to see some of that command being used here by Song of Single Doge. T-34s are down to half health. Need to treat that one. Schnell, in fact, might be too late now, actually. Nope. Narrowly avoided destruction by the Pack 40s here. Close call, though. Very close call. Up north here, MG42 remains in position. Halts Ash's northern assault. And can go for a 4th T-34 from 6. Here for almost done there for Song of Single Doge, at which point they can build the heavy panzer core. And there we go. 4th T-34 on the way there for the Red Army. And certainly a good push with 4 T-34s from 6's can deliver over firepower while being tough to like immediately stop here for Song of Single Doge. Striking from the south here. Flanking and impacting here. Doge here around the northwest axis. T-34's causing any repairs. Oh, and here being pushed back. Can build the heavy Panzer Corps now. Though Enough is not doing that either. Okay, that's the fourth one, and again Ashablois slowly moving towards the element of the point where they're going to have a fifth T-34-6 ready. More steel, more Stalinism. Good shot from that pack through the side arm of the T-34-6. Almost knocked out, concentrating on the lineage in the center. And, oh boy, we got a pack 43 here from Song of Single Doge. Because in the way that Ash is attacking, it does make sense to go for it there, as long as it doesn't get spotted and destroyed ahead of time, which, well, is exactly what's going to happen here. So that kind of undercuts the idea of going for the pack 43. Don't worry, Otto, as long as we get this up before the Russians are here, we'll be... Oh, the Russians are here. I think we need to run, Otto. That settling tower thing goes rather pear-shaped here due to the other packs nearby. And again, this is where, you know, the whole having some artillery would have been a really nice idea for Ashablois. Instead, they immediately lose 2 T-34-6 to the pack 43, pack 40 combo here. That effectively just creates a massive anti-tank zone here. Knocking out most of Ash's tanks in a matter of seconds. So yeah. That was obviously a significant flaw in the going for a lot of tanks plan. But, you know, in Ash's defense, most players don't really go like that. That's also saying Nexus is a map that sort of to an extent helps this because, as you might notice, the map creates these funnels at the edges of the map here where you can like just sit back with a lot of anti-tank guns like that. So I think also plays a role there. Arguably against you then be an argument for Ash going for artillery. There you go. We do get the Katyusha, but now Ash has lost another conscript squad. In fact, lost most of the SV40 building conscripts. The situation here for the Red Army is definitely starting to look a lot trickier here. Still, oh, we do have the heavy Panzer Corps now for Song of Single Doge. And the pack 43 there was the gun that was pretty much used on the Elephant, Yak Panther, and the King Tiger, and the Nashorn for that matter. So, fun fact there. In fact, also existed a field cannon version of this that basically meant it could also double as artillery. Fun fact. Get your shot there for Ashablois finally. Got a airdrop here machine gun. Surprisingly, it took that long. But at least they went for it. But I think that'd be good to have those to support the attack as well there. All the way though, at least they went there. Oh, they just need to grab it. Katyusha flag on north here, going for the Pioneers there. Almost wiping out the entire Pioneer squad with a single blast. But there are survivors and they do pull out. So we'll have to see what Song of Single Doge goes for. Apart from me to expect a Panther though. That means it's going to be a Sturmpanzer. Fear. Yeah, Ashablois is, well, obviously forced to rebuild the forces to give Song of Single Doge more time just to build up their own forces, grab more of the map, dig in, and prepare. So, Ashablois' situation is definitely looking a lot weaker. And it will take some time to rebuild, but at the same time, while rebuilding, they can't afford to like just do nothing, so they have to like launch these attacks. They have to like, you know, slightly mess with Song of Single Doge and hope to like get some good kills in there whilst, you know, rebuilding. And that's kind of a bit of a tricky juggling act there. And of course, more heavy machine guns is a fairly cost-efficient way of doing that though, so I would not be surprised to see at least another one of these discos here from Ashablois. Maybe even like 3 of them, honestly, at this point. Pack 43 recruit again. No, this is by the early model of the Pack 43, where they used the carriage of the Leichterfelder bits I've seen. Later ones would have a mount more similar to that of the Flak 36. There's, you know, cruciform that could sort of do like a 360-degree turn easily. So, fun fact there. But we do get the Sturmpanzer for Song of Single Doge. Clearly, with the amount of anti-tank guns they possess, they are less concerned about solid armor, particularly after knocking out 3 T-34s from 6s, so they're focusing more on the infantry and support weapons now with the Sturmpanzer. Cannot fault them for that. Cannot fault them for that. As you can soon go for another T-34, they could also go for an H-85. I suppose more Katyushas. Sturmpanzer right around the corner. Another Katyusha, in fact. Oh, cancels it. Field gun. And the Sturmpanzer arrives here for Song of Single Doge. The Sturmpanzer 4, also known as the Stupa. Brumba was an Allied designation, but the Germans would just call it a Stupa, which is short for Sturmpanzer. Katyusha fire in the center. And he's pushed back. Sturmpanzer revealed. Pack 40 minutes from the T-34 down to half health. Almost got it. There we go. Target weak. Pointing the T-34s down. Another huge blow. There's Ashablois and the Red Army. Quite the slap across the face here. North East machine holding up here. Sturmpanzer sitting forwards. Field gun there for Ashablois. Almost done. But the situation for the Red Army remains, well, rather precarious. And exposed. Get the console of the machine gun. Decent shot there. Shot fired. Woof. That's almost a full wipe there. T for the first of Ashablois. Song Single Doge, though, is not slung down here. He's got the upper hand and he has absolutely no intention of letting go. Southern point being seized to the Pioneer. But the lack of infantry, I think, is also really just hampering what Ashablois can do at this point. There's a Song Single Doge. Holding up, the Katyusha's almost ready to fire again. Katyusha's also just not really doing a lot for Ashablois because it really works best to, like, you know, again, either he can just really get it up close, which is going to be tough for all these tank guns, or against bunched up troops. And the thing is, Song of Single Doge is not really bunching up anything, which makes it difficult for Ashablois to, like, really get, like, maximum value out of the Katyusha against Song of Single Doge. So that creates some issues there for Ashablois as well. If we have a T-34 out, all mine C, obviously, but there you go. Got these machine guns, they're making things tougher. We've got 258 to 279. T-34 from 6 rolling out for the Red Army. Here's the engineers there. Heading southwards. Shot fired, missed. Sturmpanzer charging in there. Mines being laid down again, but. And shots fired there, kind of whiffed. T-34 forced into the pack 4. Got the Sturmpanzer being flanked with the field gun here. Push back. Things are heating up across several ports of the battlefield between the 20th Panzer Division and the 3rd Guards Tank Corps. But in the end, though, Song of Single Doge appears too strong here. T-34-6 almost knocked out as well there. Contra they find their cover being slowly blasted into bits. Sturmpanzer suffers a damaged engine. But Asher just doesn't really have the resources to finish it off. He could try for tactical Storm rocket run, but can't see it, so can't really do it. And the T-34 from 6 is so damaged that sending in, they would likely get destroyed before even sees the Sturmpanzer. Guns being rushed in here, overwhelming the pack 40 rolls again, looking to spot for the rocket run. I imagine that Sturmpanzer, but they're running into the Sturmpanzer. There you go, almost wiping out the entire squad, and the Pioneers could finish off here. Rocket run goes in, but largely misses the Sturmpanzer, and the conscripts got wiped. The situation for Ashablois is really starting to deteriorate now at a steady pace. It's going to be very difficult to recover from him, particularly now that Song of Single Doge is bringing up a Panther. Another Katyusha for Ashablois. Cancels it. Maybe a T-34, maybe an H-5. They also need infantry. They really badly need infantry. But again, the manpower's right now like just the biggest bottleneck right now for Ashablois. And they need so many units, but again, they only got so much manpower. Another T-34 from 6. Their Panther halfway done here for Song of Single Doge and the 20th Panzer Division. Sturmpanzer almost fixed up again. Cancel the T-34 once more. Asher, I think, clearly at this point, racked with indecision. The situation's looking bad. And I imagine the NKVD is breathing down Asher's neck as well there. Airdropping a heavy machine gun. There we go. We do get the 2 Deskers just fairly late into the game. And I do think Asher should have gotten those in much, much sooner, alongside maybe a mortar even 2. I think that helped out Asher a lot. They're doing some of those larger scale assaults, so they've been access to some mortar smoke and some Deskers to help suppress Song of Single Doge during an attack as well there. But unfortunately, again, just Asher never quite went there, and so this is how it turns out. Good for Song of Single Doge, less so for Ashablois and the Red Army. So we got the Panther out here, the Model 8, Panzerkampfwagen 5 Ausführung A. Using Norfolks. Panther shoots, misses. Sturmpanzer rolling in. Doge there being hammered, field coming up soon enough. Doge's about to get murdered out, coming forwards here. Sturmpanzer there, Veterans U1, 13 kills. Veterans U1. News being pursued by the Panther, the Panzerkampfwagen 5 charging in there. Asher's situation is deteriorating further and further. We've got another field gun here, but Asher's options of turning this around are looking very bad. He's short of like Song of Single Doge making a grievous mistake here and committing to a really bad assault, or Ashablois just pulling off some kind of brilliant maneuver. And so far, neither of those 2 events are really transpiring, are they? Katyusha ready, second field gun almost done. Another Katyusha barrage here on the Grenadiers in heavy cover. They quick retreat. And the Katyusha ends up not doing too much. Field gun bombarded here. Sturmpanzer going for bunker busting barrage, setting off monster well here. Panther's almost got the Katyusha here. Shoots, misses. Field gun though is exterminated. The crew is a long get now. Panther there, they're taking further penetrate from the T-34s on 6. Pretty lucky there for Ashablois. Very unlucky for Song of Single Doge's Panther, when the T-34s can easily penetrate the armor that much. Field and crew wiped out. Good shot there. T-34 rolling out. South here we got the company forts there for Ashablois and the Red Army. There we got most of the map now pretty much thoroughly German. Song of Single Doge, of course, also being very smart here while ahead, mining the map. Thumbs up. Ashablois, while they did do it somewhat, didn't quite do as much to the same extent. Of course, crucially, Song of Single Doge now holding most map, also has plenty of support weapons, which again was the sort of thing Ashablois lacked when they had most of the map. There were no machine gun teams, only a field gun, no mortars, nothing. So, see, that's sort of a good highlight that what the difference of like, you know, having some support weapons to back up all your other stuff can actually make in terms of then defending what you took. Because, again, that's also there, I think, what sort of it shows. See, Ashablois went awry is just they lack support weapons. So by now, Song of Single Doge looks pretty much unassailable. Machine there catching the disc up north and at lace level, completely pens in a matter of moments there. Halting the machine gun push. We do have a T-34 moving up here, but the Pack 43 is still about, then connected to take out the T-34 from 6 with a single shot. Can't get it off, that is. There we go, GG game over. A loss for Ashablois. A victory for Song of Single Doge. Quite the fierce fight here in particular the early mid game, but again, as mentioned, Ashablois just kind of got suckered into like the north sort of funnel here and just didn't bring any support weapons, which made it very easy for Song of Single Doge to push back Ashablois there, costing Ashablois a lot there. So there you go, GG game over. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. This is Imperial saying cheers and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.